Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet this snowflake. So I've included a link in the description below for the materials needed, and you can really make this as an ornament or garland or for whatever reason that you like. There's a lot of different projects this would work great for. As I mentioned, I did link the materials needed in the description below, as well as a link to the written pattern. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we need to do is make a magic ring. So you're just going to wrap the yarn around your 4 fingers like this, make it just let it kind of cross over itself into an X. Put your hook under the first piece, over the second piece, and scoop underneath and up to have your loop. We're going to chain 6. 1, 2. The first 3 chains are going to count as a double crochet, and the last 3 chains are going to count as a chain 3. So chain 6. All right, and we're going to work into our magic ring a double crochet. Yarn over, push your hook through the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the next 2 loops. We're going to chain 3 and work another double crochet. Make sure you're working over both of those pieces of yarn in your magic ring. Okay, so right now we've got technically 2 double crochets because that first chain counts as a double crochet in a chain 3. So now we work our 3rd double crochet, chain 3, work another double crochet into the magic ring. And we're going to keep on doing this until you have a total of 10 double crochets, all right? So go ahead and work another double crochet. You're going to chain 3. Okay, keep on going until you have a total of 10 double crochets, and then come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so here we are with our 10 double crochets with a chain 3 between each one, and you finish off with a chain 3 on top of the last double crochet. Grab the little short piece of your magic ring to pull your magic ring closed. And just find that 3rd chain from the bottom, okay? And we're going to close this round with a slip stitch into that 3rd chain. So push your hook through, yarn over, pull right through both loops on your hook. And we're going to begin our next round. Okay, so for this next round, we're going to just slip stitch around that chain space from the previous row, and we're going to chain 2, which is going to count as a double crochet. We're going to work another double crochet around that same chain space from the previous row, and then we're going to chain 3, and work 2 double crochets around the next chain space from the previous row. Chain 3, work another 2 double crochets around the next chain space from the previous row. And you're just going to keep on doing this all the way around. So chain 3, work another 2 double crochets around that chain space from the previous round, chain 3, and just go ahead and keep on doing that. You can pause the video, keep on working this repeat all the way around, and when you get back to the beginning, come back and I'll show you what to do next. All right, so here we are back at the beginning. We're going to close this round with a slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 space. And we'll go ahead and begin our next, oh, sorry, I forgot to finish that last bit with my chain 3. That's important after my last 2 double crochets. And now you're going to close your round with a slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 space from the beginning of the round, which is also our first double crochet. All right. So let's go ahead and begin our next round. We're going to chain 1, grab your stitch marker. It'll make it a lot easier for you to keep track of your beginning of the round. So we're going to single crochet into that first stitch and then again into the next one. And then we're going to slip stitch around that chain space from our previous round. So slip stitch right around that chain space and now chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to slip stitch around that same chain space from the previous round. You're going to single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, slip stitch around the chain space from the previous round, chain 5, slip stitch around the same chain space from the previous round, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, slip stitch around that chain from the previous round, chain 5, slip stitch again around the same chain space, and you're just going to continue doing that all the way around. So you can pause the video, continue all the way, close with a slip stitch, come back. Okay, so now that we finished that round, I'm going to take my stitch marker out, chain 1 to start my next round, and I'll put my stitch marker back in that chain 1 space. And now I'm going to slip stitch into each of these first 3 stitches, just to keep it nice and clean, working my way to the chain space from the previous round. And I'm going to slip stitch around that chain space, and now I'm going to chain 4, slip stitch around the same chain space, chain 7, slip stitch around the same chain space, chain 4 again, slip stitch around the same chain space. Then I'm going to work my way to the next chain space from the previous round by working slip stitches into all of my stitches to work my way over there. So I'm just slip stitching into each of these 4 stitches to make my way over to the next chain space. Okay, I'll slip stitch around this chain space and then chain 4, slip stitch around the same chain space, chain 7, slip stitch again around the same chain space, chain 4, slip stitch again around the same chain space, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep on repeating this all the way around, and when I get back to the start, close with a slip stitch and come back. And that's it. You finished your snowflake. You can pull up a bit of a tail end here as long as you want to. Give it a little extra length if you're going to make it right into a loop for a Christmas tree ornament. So I'm going to pull this right through, take out your stitch marker, and then you're just going to grab a yarn needle and you can weave in the tail ends and hide them. Just weave them in and out of some of the stitches on the back of your snowflake to hide them and secure them. If you want to make it into an ornament, you could even take that last tail end right at the top of your work, tie it, make it into a loop. You can see it's a little bit flimsy. That's fine. It's however you want it to be, depending on the project you're doing and what you need. I would recommend blocking it to give it that nice sturdy shape. Keep an eye out for my video where I show how I block my work and how I stiffen the snowflake. I'll be making a number of these to turn it into a snowflake garland, and I'm also making some ornaments for my tree. So keep an eye out for that video. Depending on when you're seeing this video, you can have a look in the description below. If I've already created it, I have linked it in the description below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.